Hi, Natalie. This is going to be hard. Al Capone 229, showing. Okay, anyway, well, hi. Usually I'm behind a makeup mirror and I don't talk to anybody, but I have some work to do and I'm home alone and bored, so I thought I would invite you guys along. And if you don't want to learn about orchids, then just turn off. So, you have to forgive me. Yes, so I broke my hand, as you guys, well, some of you guys know, and if you don't, then that's okay too. I broke my hand, so I've been neglecting my babies, and I'll just tell you guys, if you want to ask any questions, like, I'll be sure to answer whatever I can. Please know that I really can't see the screen well because Mommy's old. So, I have to get really close to see. So if you want to ask me a question, write it all in caps so that I can see it easier, and I'm serious. So, let's get started. So I got to change the water on a lot of my guys. I have 11 blooming at the moment, and as those who know me know, I rescue orchids. I have 56 of them. I may have a problem. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to wash my hands, because when you're handling your orchids, you want to be clean. You have to be very sterile. And washing one hand, I'll just spray the other one with alcohol. See if they stay around. Okay. This is one of my really healthy guys, so I don't really hold. He has no problems at all. He's been blooming now, but he's been blooming for almost 3 months. This is almost 3 months. He's just starting. The official. Hey, baby, how are you? I'm doing good. My hands. I think I might get my cast off on July 8th. I'm not 100% sure. So what do we do when we check our orchids? Well, see, I keep my orchids in water culture. What happened? I had a mental health moment, and Mommy got very angry at herself, and I broke my hand. So, and we're just going to leave it at that. So, when you are looking, see, I grow my orchids in water culture, so I have access to the roots at all time because I like to know exactly what's going on, and because you can see, like, you'll know exactly what's happening as soon as it's happening. So, you know, I prefer to keep them in water culture. They really, really work for me. When I get them really healthy, then I like to transmit them or transfer them back into a medium. And but what we're doing today is, like, these guys, I just go through and I check and I make sure that everything is just where it's supposed to be, and I look for any mold. I can see just a little tiny bit of mold there. What do? You use hydrogen peroxide. Just a little bit of spray. And I mean, the mold is going to happen anyway. I mean, it's wet, right? And this guy has actually been in water for almost a week. I'm not going to lie, I've been neglecting my babies. It's kind of hard. I have 56 of them. So, and the hospitals, which you can't see because they're offline, they're full. And I just had a couple of people bring me some more orchids because they were left in their offices over COVID, and they're half dead, but this guy is so healthy. He is so healthy. But, okay, where's his vessel? So this is his house, and I just get these at the dollar store. And this is just, this is really watered down 20-20-20 fertilizer, and because it's just a very basic, you know, standard, it can hit everything. Now I'm gonna let this guy dry out for a day, put him back in his vessel. And one of the reasons I like to keep them in these vessels is that it trains, because their roots, you can train them. If you bend it just right and start, you can make it wrap around things. And this guy needs a longer stick. I need a different stick. No. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there, kids. Let's go back and read some questions. See what you're saying, because I really turn on. How's Rouge doing? Rouge is doing well. She's at home. We actually have we have our first live show on Saturday. It's not my show, it's her show. It's like her return to the stage kind of thing. Okay, darling, I'm going to put you over here. And it's out at M&J's. I'm actually going to be in drag. I'm quite excited. Painting with this is a bitch, but it actually comes out not bad. We taped just a few days ago. Well, if you guys were around, you were there. See this guy. I wish you guys could see this. It has like this like moldy thing going on inside of it. Just means he's been in the water a little too long. But because I'm anal with them, I'm actually going to rinse it off. So don't rinse it with cold water. Has someone ever stolen from me? Stolen as in what? If you're talking like drag stolen and stolen jewelry or something like that, nobody ever steals from me. I'm very lucky in my career to have respect. People have a lot of respect for me, and I'm very lucky like that. Has someone ever stolen from me? Good spray off. And what are we making sure? We're making sure that there is no water down in the leaves, because if you let water pool in there, it'll cause root rot, and we don't want that. I gave anything, just a little spray with hydrogen peroxide, just to make sure that there's none of that is going to turn into mold or fungus. But this is why we like to let them dry out, because then any chance of that dies with the drying out. And these guys can go a couple days drying out, and then they turn gray, and they let you know that they're thirsty. Those flowers are so good. Thank you, baby. I think I have 11 blooming at the moment. 11, maybe 12. I just had a few new flower spikes. The ones that are sick, I don't let them bloom, because a lot of times orchids will bloom as like a last dying thing. I'm gonna put all my energy and I'm gonna bloom, and it won't work on its roots. So a lot of times I don't let them bloom until they're healthy. I lost your house. Here you go. Okay. Now I'm just letting that peroxide sit on there a second. I'm going to give it a little rinse, and then I'm going to fertilize him and put him back in his vessel, and he'll be there for a day, maybe two. It seems a little unstable. Usually that's my line. Any personal belonging? I have been stolen from, and it has been at like drag shows and stuff like that. I make my own jewelry and stuff, and we were at an event out of province. I'm not going to say where we were at, but I had a jewelry set stolen from me, which is really stupid because everybody knows that I make my own stuff, right? So what's your way of dealing with past mistakes that I made? You know what? I have learned over the last little while to own your shit. If you made a mistake, own up to it. That's all I can say. I'm looking for squishy roots is what I'm looking for. Oh, look, we have a little bit of a squishy spot. Who knew? What's wrong with you now? That's okay. We just put it off. Yeah. I know this is going to blow your mind. Watch this. I just got to put you down for a second there. Because where I cut something off, I need to kind of like coagulate it. And what do you use for that? Cinnamon. usually have a big hunk of it out while I'm working, because when I cut something off, oh, there it is. Just touch it with a little bit of cinnamon, and cinnamon is a natural antibiotic, so it resists against all kinds of infections and stuff. And I'm only just learning about orchids and viruses and stuff. There's so many things that can affect them, and which is crazy because I haven't had any of those things. Okay. Ow. Perfect. Oh. Okay. Anyway, if you have any questions, ask away. These guys are the easy ones. It's when I get at the hospital that I gotta go in and perform surgery. So I missed all of the tell me what's happening. We're just playing with my orchids tonight, darling. So I had a little extra time, and I've been down. I haven't been able to. My hand's been messed up, so I haven't been able to take care of my children the way it needs to be. And because I generally do this once a week, so but we're just getting caught up. The big guys who are blooming, I don't worry too much about them because they're nice and healthy, and I know they're healthy. And so we just give them just a check just to make sure. So there's nothing squishy, nothing is just a little bit of fungus there. And again, this is just hydrogen peroxide. It actually works really, I like the ones actually I buy at the dollar store. Oh, so what? Do orchids do better with bare roots? I find they do, because I know exactly what's going on, and if I see something, I can immediately treat it. And like, this guy had no roots, like at all. Most of my orchids, when they come to me, they're like literally a pile of leaves, and someone's like, "I killed it, can you save it?" And that's what I like to do. So this is what you're really supposed to be. No. If you are growing them, people grow them in medium, and hey, good for you. I will put them in medium later. Right now, I'm really focusing on growing new roots. Like, I have one guy that has like not a root on him, and he's in like basically a greenhouse trying to like generate some roots to him. So, and I'll cut some of them sooner or later. And I like the challenge of making them better again. And then sometimes I give them away as gifts, and I'm learning how to mount them, which is, I have this amazing art image in my mind that I'm going to use driftwood, and I'm going to make it mount to it and become like a piece of sculpture. Because it's called, I can't say it, it's a Japanese technique, it's komosuto, it's something, but it's when you mount an orchid on like a hunk of wood or something like that. And it's wrapped in sphagnum moss, so you can literally just walk by and spray it every other day, and it's going to be happy. Oh, because I have some that don't grow well. Maybe I'll try this. What else are you doing? Because this is the problem. Tell me what you're doing. You won't be the first person who has sent me pictures, darling. Orchids grow very slow, and you need to remember that. What their basic needs are, they're actually very, very simple to keep. They're actually very, very simple to keep. Keep them in a window a bright window, like a southeast facing window, and but they don't like direct light. Like if you put them in direct light, they'll burn, and it's very easy to burn them. They love morning light because it's soft and gentle. And yeah, so you want to filter them. They like that kind of light. They don't need a lot of light, maybe 4 to 6 hours a day. And as far as watering goes, you water them when they're dehydrated. And it's very easy to tell when they're dehydrated. So, You know, this guy, so this guy has a story. He was blue. The kids thought they were, oh my God, we're gonna take mommy a blue orchid. See, he's got a squishy root. So they came here and they were all right excited, and I was like, darling, you know that it doesn't come blue, right? And the look on their face of horror. And I'm like, no, they're injected to be blue. And actually, you can't see this, but like where I cut this guy off, like if you look inside, all of his insides are all blue, right? Because they inject the vein in it to make it, it's not good on the plant. So this guy is actually white, and so I cut off his blooms and I used cakey paste to make him grow new roots, or grow new flower spike. And but anyway, these guys that will come, these will be white. This guy just opened. This is his first bloom back in probably a year. So it's taken us a year to grow these roots. Their roots grow very slow. And you say, oh, he's not growing. He is. He's just very slow. And his first bloom, because I never know what color they are until they come here. So I don't catalog them until they bloom. Because then I'm like, okay, he was a yellow guy. So this is actually one of my only yellow ones that I have, that I currently know of, because there's a wall of them there and I have no idea what colors they are. But when it's all said and done and everybody's healthy, then I tag them. And then I know exactly what to do with them. This guy, oh, you're doing great. See, he's got nice green little nibs on him. This guy might be a problem here. He looks a little shallow. I'll keep an eye on him. But that's the benefit of doing this. And quite frankly, I'm sorry. I'm connected with these guys. And they respond. Like, they know that they are being touched, and they know that they're being taken care of. I think I'm actually going to clone this guy. And I'll show you how to do that. But let's give you a little feeding first, because you're perfect. Just the way you are. Oh, I had to dump the water first. This guy actually just finished blooming. He bloomed for over 6 months, but it's alive. Okay, mine just won't grow a stem. Okay, no. Okay, mine just won't grow a stem anymore, and it's flowered maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 3 to 4 years. How old is it? Because orchids live for about 20 years. And the older they get, they'll actually stop producing flowers, okay, because it's getting old. So they will. Okay, where do you have it? And see, in order to get your orchid to bloom, you need about a 10-degree temperature change. So it's got to get cold. And so generally what I like to do is, like, I move mine around the house all the time. And like in fall, I'll start to move them somewhere that I know it's colder, and it'll stimulate them to bloom. So, oh, I didn't know it was a gift. He's facing east window. Perfect. That's perfect. Just not in direct, like hot noontime sun. That will burn your orchid. Okay. I have to watch my windows. Our back window is the back of the house is all windows, and I can put orchids in the living room window, but I can't put them in the bedroom window because of the way the trees are, and down here is more filtered light. So, but yeah, I would think, are you fertilizing it? And if you're fertilizing it, what do you do? There's a doctor's office that I occasionally go to, and they always have these very large white orchids. Are you sure they're not fake? But anyway, Your orchids are so easy to grow, and once they're happy, like, you can't kill them. It's impossible. Trust me. I'll show you. I have one guy. This is Doug. And Doug, I am trying desperately. I've been trying to get Doug to rebloom for almost 5 years now. But I think Doug is old. I think Doug is he's just not going to produce anymore. No. Oh, you have to fertilize him there. Get some fertilizer in there. Have you changed his medium? Because you should change your medium about every 2 years. No fertilizer. Yes. You need to. Yes, he's probably hungry. Yeah. But you probably should change your medium. You can grow orchids. Yep, it's called water culture, darling. Look it up. It's a very common thing. Some people prefer it, some people don't. For me, it works best because I'm a control freak. And I like to make sure everything is just ticky-boo. Doug goes upstairs. Our upper floor, the upper hallway, it has a skylight. And the light is perfect up there. It's really nice. But I don't have a lot of room there. I got my orchid to make 2 blooms. It was awesome. My mama almost... my mom almost threw out the plant. See, most orchids end up in the garbage because when you buy an orchid in the store, it's always sick. I have very... Did you just ask me my HIV status? I am actually HIV positive, and I'm completely undetectable, and therefore untransmittable. And I can't believe you just asked that. I asked them first, but they were very high. They were just very high. Okay. Okay, I gotta go back because I don't know what you said. Okay, let's go back there. Half in doctor's office. Okay, okay. I'll change. Had no idea. I only use water. Half comes water. How much? Okay, I got my first make 2 blooms. What else? What a fucking asshole. Honey, I support everyone. Oh, I fuck him. I don't care. Okay, how often should you water them? If your orchids are in medium, okay, you water them when the orchid is dry. So generally, it'll come in a pot, okay, and it'll have like maybe a little plastic pot inside of it that can lift out. There's a reason for this. So when you go to water them, fill them up, let it set like 15 minutes, okay, so that all the stuff in there can absorb the water, and then you drain it completely. Drain it, put it back in its pot, and let it completely dry out, okay? They're so easy to take care of. Oh, thank you, darling. We're working on it. We're getting a new stove and a new fridge. I'm very excited. This is actually P001. He was one of my very first Phalaenopsis orchids, and if any of you actually watched episode 2 of Apocalyptic Kitchen, this is actually the orchid that I'm working on. And he bloomed for almost 7 months. He was very, very happy. That leg is not what's going on there, darling. See, he's trying to escape from the vessel. These are air roots. I'm just looking for a good, you know what, he's already drying, there you can tell. So he's saying, I don't want that leg is no good, there's something wrong with it, I'm just going to seal myself off here. Don't do that, it hurts. I love your flowers. Thank you, baby. This is Francis. All my orchids have names because I'm not obsessed at all. He's actually getting a little top heavy. We're actually going to mount Francis. I want to mount him upside down because orchids grow upside down, right, in the rainforest. So I talk about the crown rot, which happens when you get water sits inside the leaves, but in nature that doesn't happen because orchids grow upside down, right? We've brought them into here to sell them, and we want them to grow this way. So in nature, you never have to worry about crown rot because it won't happen. Here. This is Astrid. She's new. Her name is Astrid because I bought her the night that I got my first COVID vaccine, which was AstraZeneca. Right? And she's doing really well, actually. And we actually used some cakey paste on her and cloned her. And she's going to put out 2 new flower spikes. You can't really see those, but she was actually in really good shape. She came from, I think she came from Sobeys. That's where she came from. And they generally have really good orchids. Yeah, see something's going on there. We don't want that. I think she's you're a little squishy. I'll let you go. And if you have a problem with the leg, let me know. I gotta stop this. I'm gonna put myself. You have a good day too, my darling. So if you guys are liking this, hey, I've never done this before. But I'm generally home alone when I'm doing, it's 10 after 6 here. I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia, in case you don't know. When Jake works night shift, this is what I do. Oh, we got a little slime going on. This is one of my favorites. This is Leroy. And I don't know why I called him Leroy. This is Leroy. You need to repot them. So just go and get some, it'll be called orchid bark, premium orchid bark, it's all fine. And it's just little wood chips. Don't put it in sphagnum moss if it's in sphagnum moss. So this has never been repotted. Okay, you've got some work to do. So go get that. Then I want you. Do I have any to unpot? No, I just unpot it last night, or I could have shown you exactly what to do. But I can walk you through it. You're going to unpot them, okay? And you're going to gently take all the medium off its roots. You're going to want to get everything off, unless you want to put them in water culture, in which case you have one of these big things. You want something clear because the roots, a lot of times you'll take the roots out and they'll be very light. It's because they haven't photosynthesized, because they're not getting access to sunlight. And like these do photosynthesize. And once they're out and they're in these, then they'll actually start to. I can't get my orchid to flower. You can't get it to flower, then you need a temperature drop of about 10 degrees for at least 2 weeks. Okay, 10 days, 2 weeks. I do actually what? I have. Okay, water. Okay, I get you now. Sorry, I didn't see you. Said bring in caps lock that I can see you better. Yeah, if you have a big tall vessel like this, then yeah, get your phone out, girl. Like, tell me what you're doing. So get into the sink or get yourself a big bowl and gently take him out of his pot and get all the medium off him. These guys are my favorite. I just love like the randomness of the spots, because like this is what, I'm not gonna lie, I get fucked up on mushrooms and just literally sit inside them because they're so beautiful up close. Okay, all medium is up. Wow, you're fast. So it must have been little barky chips. Okay. Okay. Go get a bowl of water. Okay, that is just room temperature water. Nothing too cold. It could be a little rather warm than hot. Just move my fowls to clay pebble meeting. You mean light gut? I have my dendrobiums in light gut, and I really like it. My orchids never last long. They should be lasting long. Like this guy has, okay, yes, he would have been blooming a long time because I'm actually cloning this guy. I'm going to get a couple more goes out of him, and then these may actually develop roots, which are called keikis, and you can actually take them off. There's it. I don't know. I just tell it to play evening jazz. It knows. Google runs my house. I'm using the Grow It brand. Brand of what? Medium? I don't know that one. I don't think so. But as long as it's good little chunks, can we Gucci? This guy was very sick. But when I got him, he wasn't, his roots weren't horribly bad, and so I actually let him keep his flowers, which normally I wouldn't. If they're really sick, I'd cut the flowers off, because otherwise they'll put their energy into the flowers instead of putting it into the roots. But he's doing very well, and he's a double bloomer, which, oh, I almost broke that off. If you're going to do this with fertilizer that you buy, like just water-soluble fertilizer, like cut it like 1/8 of the strength, right? Because if you'll burn your roots if you make it too strong. And I only do it when the roots are actually wet, because then things absorb better than if it was dry. Like bartender. The roots on mine look brown-gray. Okay, that means they're dehydrated. Okay, so what I want you to do is put him, roots and all, okay, into a bowl of water, okay, and just let him sit. Okay, you don't want the leaves to go under the water. Okay, so that's crazy. Okay, so I'm guessing you don't have any flowers on yours. Yes. Angela, right? Yeah, I'm good. This is the crown, obviously, so you don't want this underwater. So only the roots underwater, and let them sit there for a good hour. Okay, and I mean you can play around with him if you want. Try to get some more of the medium up because things will stick. Yeah, so he needs to hydrate for a while, and while he's doing that, you're gonna prep his new house. So how long are the roots? Do you got a good little stretch, or is he stunted? Because this guy was half dead, and he's actually just starting to grow a new leaf, and he had like no roots. It's taken us a while to grow these. This is Glenn. I don't know why I named him Glenn. Do not let water sit in there. No blooms doesn't mean no. Oh, okay, 6 inches. Okay. The leaves and roots tell you health. Yes, of course they do. Okay. Your leaves should be firm. You should not be able to bend them. Okay. If they're all flimsy and stuff like that, it means that they could be damaged. Whatever. This guy is more flimsy because I've been working on him, right? So he's still not healthy. But his new leaves up here, these are stiff, right? And if the leaf is all wilty, like that means that he's dehydrated, right? If he's not able to get water up, I mean, of course the leaves are going to shrivel. So your roots are the number one thing. If your roots are bad, of course the flower is bad. And the ones that you see in the grocery store, that's a big beautiful flower. Well, of course he's bloomed. He's like, yes, I'm putting all my energy into this because I'm glorious. And he doesn't think about his roots. But they're very tight and they're compacted. And a lot of times they end up with root rot because they're not cared for properly. So, okay. Just check and see if I missed anybody. This is fun. I like this. She was very healthy when I got her. She was a present. Yeah, someone's not happy there. See? It's no good. Let's trace him back. Squishy roots, that's your main ones. And it's always better to take the whole root off if you think it's going to continue to spread, because when the rot and stuff happens, you really can't stop it. But you can get ahead of it. If you can get ahead of it the right way, and letting the plant dry out is one of the best things to actually fight root rot because it dries out the plant. So where the root is dying, the plant even closes it off even more, right? So, are you getting? Yes, I do. I have a couple dendrobiums. I'm just getting to oncidiums, and I have a cattleya. I have it's that weird word I can't pronounce yet. Anyway, yeah, I am. I'm trying to. Orchids are. It's a crazy thing. I'm like, God, there's over 26,000 varieties of orchids. Like, did you have any idea of that? Okay, so 1 hour on the bowl. Yeah, just leave him in an hour. He's not going to hurt anything in there. You can leave him in there all night if you want. But when it's all said and done, while he's in the bowl, go over his roots. Look for any squishy spots. If you can find that stuff, then you're going to cut it off. Get him. You're probably going to want to lift him out anyway and give him a spray of hydrogen peroxide because you just never know where mold is. And Orchids doesn't need mold. Yes, of course they don't need mold, dear. We fixed that. That's what you use hydrogen peroxide for. Look at you. They're right there. Their upkeep, their maintenance. Where these guys are sick. Work. Okay, for rot. Yeah, you go look for rot there. You need a bigger vase. See, making their roots scrunch down because I want to mount them on trees, right? So I figured it would be if I start. See how he's so stiff? See, that's healthy. That's a healthy leaf. If it's really flimsy, you don't want that. My orchids are not doing so well. Well, you tell me what is going on, and I can probably help you. Can I fertilize him? Can I fertilize? I think I do. Just a little extra. A little extra because mommy loves you. This guy this will be his first bloom, and I didn't see his flower spike right away. He started going crooked, and I had to try to tame him back the right direction. Someone's doing very well. Squishies. Maybe a little right there. You know what? When in doubt, I'm serious. This actually works. Like to squish off and stuff. Because then the flower says, "Oh, dry that motherfucker up!" And we're gonna let them dry out. So we might actually be able to get ahead of it. If not, there's another little node right there that's like, you know, that's a good. It's like a knuckle. You know, it's very good to cut in there. You might be okay to clone though. You look like you got some really good nodes on. Okay, this is I got these guys in here. This guy is not well. He's quite sick actually. But I let him keep his blooms because I want to try to clone him. And because his root system's not bad. It's not horrible, and I'm trying to stay ahead of it. And see, I haven't got all of his medium off yet. Like there's still little pieces, and you got to kind of soak it off. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you. Oh, no problem, baby. Anytime. I usually cut the spike right after the last flower drop, and then that's fine. You know, that's fine. Cut it right above its last node. Okay. Yeah, that's. See, sometimes you just really can't stay ahead of it. But luckily, the way that the crown works is you never get new roots from below. You get new roots from top. See, he's putting out new roots. He's got a new root right here coming. And roots will always come from the sides. Flowers come from inside the leaves. Are they yellow? I have a yellow one. He's over there. This one. He's just starting to bloom, and he's yellow. Okay, as I was saying, so never be afraid if you need to take all of these, because this under piece here, a lot of when you take it out, there'll be like a clump of, if your leaves look shriveled and flimsy, yes. What? Not yellow. Oh, okay, I guess someone else here was talking to you. Okay. Orchids like humidity. They don't necessarily like moisture. Like when I have really sick guys, I actually put them in a humidifier. Yeah, so as I was saying here, I'm still working on getting the medium off this guy because you'll get it off in like stages. Because sometimes it like really it bonds with the roots. And if you try too hard, you'll hurt the root. Right? So if you just do it as you soak it and get little pieces, because this stuff here, if you're leaving this in water culture, this is going to decompose. Okay, I am off. Thanks again. Let me know how you do. Hey, Mango, darling. As I was saying, these will decompose, and it emits actually a gas that hurts the orchid. So make sure you get your roots clean. And it may take a couple times, it may take a while, but every time you soak it, you'll get a little bit more off. But everybody else in here is okay. My orchid was sat in bark too. You should. Okay, you don't have to take it out of the bark. Is your orchid doing well? If your orchid's doing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. How do you know so much about them? No, I started learning about them about 3 years ago, and I just always loved them because I mean, you're never going to find a more showy flower than an orchid. It's like it's the drag queen of flowers, right? So of course I love them, and I just became fascinated with them, and I always wanted one. And the first ones I had, they were okay, you know, but they were never anything great because I followed the damn directions. Don't do that. Please don't water your orchids with ice cubes. They don't like it. They come from the rainforest. Why would you want to get, if you came from the rainforest, would you want to get watered with ice cold water? No. And it can burn the roots, it can damage them. Do not water your orchids with ice cubes. That was not sent from anybody who knows anything. That's a brand, okay? Ice orchids, it's a brand. And they're just telling you the minimum laziness that you can give, but it's actually hurting the orchid. So stop doing it! Having said that, these guys are just new. That's where I get very, okay. Okay, if you're going to mist your orchids, make sure it's mist. You don't spray your orchids. You don't want them dripping, because if that pools down in here, it's going to cause crown rot. And you cannot get ahead of crown rot. It's next to impossible. I've done it, but it's very difficult. I'm going to go back here just to see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. Well, we're only back to 10 people. Missed in the, how much, you know. No, I just learned. I just took my time. I learned. No, if he's in his bark and he's doing good, leave him in there. If you leave some sugar, yeah, the roots very dry and hard. I have to. Okay, and see what's I'm going to help you. You've come to a great spot. Orchids don't need mold. Of course they don't. No, nothing needs mold there, except for cheese. Okay, I think I'm caught up. I have 11, 12 orchids blooming right now, and down in the living room, there's a big window, and so all of my orchids are there, and the rest of my orchids, blooming guys, are here in the kitchen, which gets nothing but morning light, and it's quite spectacular. Okay, did I get you? No, I just started you. This guy is very new. Like, literally, I only got him like 2 days ago. So, we're still getting his medium off. But he was actually in very good shape. Okay, yeah. Let him dry out. There's just these couple of areas that we know these guys are dead. So you can kind of look and you say, okay, you can see where the plant has completely closed off, and you can judge, and you want to take it off at that spot. That's my goal, is a wall of orchids. Like I said, I have 52. I have 52 or I have 56. I'm not 100% sure. They come and go. I just had a friend just dropped off one the other day. You get 2 keikis, cool. Is it a keiki or is it just another flower spike? Because you can have flower spikes come from flower spikes. If it's a keiki, then it has roots. But you're doing good. Yes, and see, his leaves were burnt. He had got burned. Okay, you are going in water because that's what you need. waiting on one of them to root so I can transmit. Cool. I'm putting this guy back in water, and I'm adding to the water about 1/8 of a teaspoon of Epsom salts. This will give him more magnesium, and it helps to keep the water clear. So he's going to go back in. And I'm going to fill him up until the water is like just below the end of the crown. And I like to say about 1 inch or so below. Okay. Because if you let the crown set in water, it's going to rot, right? Be careful of your temperature of water. I'll leave him here 4 days. What did I say? Epsom salts. Wow, sorry. It'll give him more magnesium, because that's what Epsom salt is. Just throw Epsom salt out in your garden. It's great for roses. And it will help keep the water clear. So you can, because I generally, if I didn't have Epsom salt in there, the water is going to start to turn green after about 3 days, right? But if I put Epsom salt in there, I can get a week. And before I start to see little bits of slime and stuff in the water, and then I know it's time to change it. Epsom salt out. My shirt's soaked. Oh yeah, I'm just starting it. Sorry. We just got this guy, and he actually was not in bad shape. So this is his first dry out. Yeah, so it's 1/8 of a teaspoon, or if it's a smaller vessel, just like a pinch. I love my orchids too. They're like my kids. Like I talk to them. Okay, I think that. Oh no, just you. This guy's new shoe, but I had to take his flower off because he's very sick. He had a flower on. He's pink, so I'll make note of that in his records. And yeah, I totally get him all of that. I took it off so that he would put his energy into his roots. Because hey, my darling, how are you? I'm good. Hey, Google, skip this song, please. But I left this part of his flower spike on because I'm actually going to try to clone him. I have mine placed in orchid pots. The roots are growing through the holes. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. He probably needs a bigger pot. So if there's a lot, like if they're growing out the top of the pot, that's air roots, and that's okay. He's just like, I just need a little extra water. I'm going to go see what's over here. And those air roots can actually spawn off and actually become keikis too. So don't cut off your air roots. Yeah, if he's growing out of this pot like the bottom, you might want to think about putting him in a bigger pot. How long has he been in there? Because you should change your medium about every 2 years. boys, this is going to tell right there. He's very light inside, and he was really mushy, like really, really mushy. So when you let him dry out, you can kind of get a judgment of what's going to come back to life. I water once a week. I soaked them in the sink. Yep, just soak them in the sink, let them fill up and set for about 15 minutes, and then dump them out. Put them back where they were, nice bright window where he's not going to get direct sun. To get some, but they die so easy for me. I don't think. No, you obviously don't. I have 6 orchids, and they are gorgeous. I have 50 some, and they're a lot of work. Which one do you recommend for me to get? So do I change the water every day? No. If you're doing water culture and you have a pinch of Epsom salt in there, you can let them go 5 days in water. Sometimes I can go a week. Depends. And then I'll let them dry out for about 2 until they turn gray, because then it's like, okay, I'm thirsty, feed me. So no, you don't need to change the water every day. You're only going to water like once a week anyway. Well, you water when you need to. You may be in a drier climate, so you need to water more often.
I love that we both went live.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to stage Rouge Fatale!
Hi!
I'm having a fucking ball. This is fun.
I didn't know you were live.
Yeah, I just decided this a while ago. So
Me too. I decided to piss off some hair.
that's good. I had like 42 in here at one time, but now I have like 10. But
I have 9.
I'm doing work. It's great. I'm getting caught up. It's awesome.
Lovely. I'm doing hair because I found a bunch and I'm just gonna fuck around with some shit and make it. I'm doing some old school rougey but fucked up shit hair. Surprise. So I'm doing that. Like, remember I was gonna do the peach one, like I did the blue one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Perfect.
This is my life work at this moment.
Okay.
I may also be a little.
Darling, so which ones should you get? You should get a Phalaenopsis. Those are pretty much the easiest ones for you to raise. You do not want to start off with something like a Dendrobium because they are a lot of freaking work and I'm still learning myself. So yeah, start yourself off with a Phalaenopsis. They're the easiest.
Hi, I'm good, my darling. You were answering someone and I just said hello to someone.
Yep. What? Okay, so obviously you weren't here before when I flipped out about ice cubes. Do not water your orchids with ice cubes. They don't like it.
Why would you like someone to put an ice? Never mind.
Yep. Why would you want to be ordered ice cold water when you come to the rainforest? Why would there be ice there? Do not.
I mean, if you want to put an ice cube around my asshole while you're doing things, like.
Okay, you just went bad. I'm trying to help people.
I don't have to.
What do you think? No ice cubes. Do not use ice cubes.
Unless you're in the bedroom or it's a nice warm day and you need a cold drink. Your orchids don't.
Oh, see, this guy came to me from someone's office.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to them here. What was I saying? Yes, came to me from someone's office. They had been left there for like 6 months, and the poor thing is like half dead. Happy Street. Okay. We had somebody ask me before, what's your HIV status? And then went off at me. I'm like, fuck you, little bastard.
Not that it's anybody's business, but like, why did they go off on you?
Oh no, they went. Usually I have a moderator, and for when people do, it was hate. I had some hate from everything.
Oh, you just had hate mail.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
but that's okay. Okay, that's what the tag says. Darling, That tag is a brand. That tag is not information that came to you from Orchid people. That tag is a brand of a company who wanted to make it easy for people to have orchids. So they said, oh yeah, let's water them with ice because it's easy. And it
This is why the only
great
orchid
result.
that this is why the only orchid Kalicious has is plastic.
So,
Alexa,
no, doesn't like
stop.
Okay, yeah. See, this light's getting amputated, and I'm just gonna take him right off the root because he's light colored. He's like, yeah, no, you're not gonna be happy. Get you out of there. Oh yeah, you're not happy. It's gonna be a You got PHIV. Yes, Jared, too. I plant mine in orchid pots and I use orchid meeting. That's
Alexa, stop.
What does this spray do for the orchids? This, okay, which one? This is just hydrogen peroxide, and I'm chasing mold, is what I'm chasing. And if I see it, then I can kill it with this, right? So that's fine. Everything's good there. This is fertilizer.
I like to chase mushrooms myself more so than just mold.
What, baby?
I'm just making fun of mold. I prefer mushrooms, not mold.
Oh, yes.
Boars. Okay, well, why don't you go do your orchids and I will tend to hair because this is going to get weird when we get certain conversations going.
Am I in trouble?
No. Remind me to tell you about...
The reason I have a show together here on Stationdrg.ca called Queen's Ranting. You might want to tune in. Don't forget to subscribe.
Tuesday, I went from 7 people to 1 person. Oh, 8. Nope, 7. Okay, I'm going to go and do some hair. I love you much. I'll talk to you soon. Don't kill anybody.
I'll try not to.
Good for you.
I don't know how to shut you off, so you have to
I don't know either. I'm trying. No, that's live match. I don't want to do that. I don't know what the hell that is. What is this? Disconnect. I found it.
What shows are returning? Well, we just actually started putting up Queen's Ranting again because we weren't able to tape for 10 weeks, something like that. Bruce was in rehab, we had COVID happen, we had a lockdown. It was intense. So we're finally able to get that up again. Okay, it's time to hit the hospital. Help that man get off. Thank you, Sue, for answering my questions elaborately. No problem, baby. That's what I'm here for. Hello from Pennsylvania. Hi, how are you? You'll have people say either way. I like them in water because I can control them. And I can see exactly what's happening. And if there's a squishy root or whatever, I can handle it right there. If you're in medium, you don't have that control. So I like to get them really healthy, and then I'll put them back in medium because it's a lot easier to treat them because the medium holds water, so I can water them and they're good for a week, sometimes a week and a half, depending on your environment, right? So I like them in water culture to get them healthy, and then I put them in medium. Not sure how to take that. Anyway, I think at the hospital. I can show you this. This is my dendrobium. And he was like a little tiny thing when I got him. and I got him from a friend, from a clipping, and we've been working on getting him to go. But he's in Leica, which is these little clay balls, and he's actually, these grow really well in water culture. And see, well, you really can't see him there, but also you can kind of see roots going. And he'll call around, and I love him. And dendrobiums are really hard to get to bloom because these are different. These are epiphytic orchids, and these, like, epiphytic means they grow on trees, so they don't need to be in soil. They don't need to be in anything because in the wild they would grow on trees. And these are monopodial orchids, which means they put out a flower spike. These are sympodial orchids, and so they have pseudobulbs, and this is where the flower would come from. And when they grow new guys, they'll grow from the bottom. And I'm just learning all this stuff. There's so many big words. But this guy does really well. Like, I will leave him literally sitting in water for 2 weeks and not have to worry about him. You cannot put him in enough light. Like, you cannot. So you never have to worry about them burning. And see, their leaves are very flexible as opposed to the Phalaenopsis orchids. And that's okay. So he actually just had a keiki. I got a keiki off him, and he's actually in the hospital. He's in ICU. Tommy needs a refill. Speaking of refills, doing good. That all caught up. Done. Cheers. All of your orchids are gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you so much. I work hard at them. I really do. And I have probably, like I said, I have 50-some Phalaenopsis orchids. And I'm only allowed to buy new ones if it's something that I don't have already. Like, right now I have, like, 5 white ones because I didn't know what color they were when I got them, right? Because they were dead. I have a miniature orchid that's kept in, 6 months is nothing. I just, my big white ones that I had over here before, like, he's been blooming for almost 3 months. And I have 3 big white ones like that blooming. I should put these over here because it's more showy than full. This guy makes sense. He's going to be little white blooms, so he won't be big ones. I know. Those miniature ones are great for your desk, little miniature orchids. And I actually just got angel lights, which they're like LED. They're like a mini greenhouse. Like they're a grow light that sits right in your pot. I got 2 of them because the top of our headboard is all orchids. Because Mommy has a problem. It's more showing, yes. Okay, let's go to the hospital. Speaking of mini guys, this was a mini guy, and see, he had none of these. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, he had none of these. We have worked very hard at this guy, and he's actually just starting to put out new leaves from the middle, and he's got a new root coming from the side. So he's happy, he's good, and if he decides to put out a bloom, then we will allow him. But if he was still very sick, I wouldn't allow him to put out a bloom. Oh, a little bit of mold. Thank you. Don't let the peroxide sit on there because it can burn. This guy's gonna dry out though. See, he's nice and green. And it's like you're training them. This is what I like to do. It's like if they have any kind of a root, I'll leave them in the bottom of the ounce with just a tiny bit of water, just so that his end of it sticks in it. And he's like, oh, there's water down there. We should go. We should go. We should grow down there, and it stimulates the plant to grow new. Oops. I had mine in a bay window facing north, along with my African bonus. They do what? Yeah, exactly. As long as it's not in direct sunlight, he's happy. And, you know, if you have a really bright window, just like put like a sheer curtain there, and he'll be happy. But we will fertilize this guy. Yes. Might be okay. He had a flower spike on him when he came, so I just left a little bit so that I can hook him right on the side of the glass. And that way he's happy. You. See, this guy had no upper roots, and all he had was these dark ones, and that's what we fed him off of. For this has taken almost a year. Like, orchids grow very slowly. They're easy to grow. Once you know the basics, and the best way to learn to care for orchids is to rescue one. Like, I'm serious. Like. And the best place to get them is when you go to the grocery store and they're like $40. Like, I'm like, okay, that's a weed, because there's over 26,000 varieties of orchid. That basically makes them the weeds of the jungle, okay? And they're way too expensive, like but when you get them and they're half dead, you get them on clearance. Like, I have ones that I got for like $1, like $5, you know. Jake will come home with big armloads of them. But see, the problem with this guy is that this is what we're working on to try to get his roots to go down, because I can't bring up the water over this to allow him to soak in the water, because they're higher than what the crown is, and it'll cause crown rot. So I actually had to go and like spray this guy like every day. I had to go and I spray them and baby them to make sure that they're getting moisture. But because the jar or the vessel is thin, it's going to force the roots to grow compacted, right? So then it makes them go down so that you can finally make them hit the water, and then they're happy, right? So. Yes, guys. Very well. This works well, actually. Take a zip tie and put it on it. And you're just using water. This is peroxide. It's just 3% peroxide. This is just water, yes, because I don't like to let the peroxide sit on there, and so like I'll let it do its thing, and then I'll spray it off, right? But this guy's getting a check. That root is questionable, but I think he's doing okay. This, however, is fertilizer, and he has enough wet roots, because you don't. It's no good for you to spray the fertilizer on this when the roots are dry, because it's just a waste, really. So it's like when you're treating your skin, when you want your skin to accept moisturizer and stuff like that, it's going to do it better when your skin's a little hydrated. Stop soon. This is really what he did. I am learning so very much. You're very welcome, my darling. You can come back anytime. See, his leaves are they're like leathery. I don't know if you can see that. They're like leathery. And he's not healthy. Like that leaf is dying off, which is fine, because he continues on. He sprouts out from the middle and keeps on, and so this leaf will probably dry off. But I'll let it do it itself before I take it off. This is my first time in your chat. Well, welcome. Welcome to my home. I don't do the lives much, especially like most people are coming in when we're doing our makeup, and that's great. But I'm very focused when I'm painting, so I don't like to be in the camera. Yeah, that's not good. But don't cut it off when they're dry, because sometimes when they rehydrate, you can kind of tell. Hey, you can cut them off there instead of there and save some of the root. But I know that guy's going to come off. Because he's already shooting for freedom here. But he's got a couple new roots all coming in. So, like, these can come off. I kept them because I was using them. I needed them, right? I needed every source of nutrient for him until he grew new roots, right? So, now he will go back in water. So what's the formulation? 1/8 teaspoon of Epsom salts. I'm lucky with this guy. He's tall, but just the way his roots are shaped, it's wet. So yeah, I'll bring him up to just under his crown. You don't like to be. It's not so much interrupted. I paint slow. I lose myself when I'm painting. I really enjoy creating Devas. I'm also only almost 50, and so it takes a while to make this look like her. It takes a village, people. Oh, we have a leaf coming off of this guy for sure. See, he's dying off. And if this came off real easy, and if it came off, that means the plant has rejected. So I don't need this. You don't need to worry about going in there and coagulating that or treating it. The plant already has it taken care of. I have to watch these guys because I have it on a chopstick, and that gets moldy really fast. So even if there is no mold there, I usually spray down the chopstick just so it doesn't get moldy. He's doing really good. Oh, I have a flower. I didn't see you. I have a flower spike. I have a new guy. See, he's coming up from between the leaves because this guy, oh my god, look at that. Dude, this guy's going to come off. You know what? I probably should take him off. No, I won't. I'll let you do your thing. Well, you don't want to be wearing makeup like us, but as a makeup artist, I've been doing makeup I've been a hairstylist and makeup artist for 20 years, and all the techniques and stuff that most makeup artists learn, they all came from drag queens. Excited to see. Okay, yeah, I do too. It makes you, you're like, I helped him make that, right? It's like, if I hadn't taken you and help you get better, you would have been in the garbage. And so it's a cathartic feeling. And it's steps. And that's what I've learned about drag makeup, is that it's very specific steps. And steps that I used to do, I can't do it that way anymore because my skin is different, or I've learned this, or this works better if I don't do this and do this first, right? So, and now I'm like fucking Bob Ross. It's just, paint by numbers. You start at the back and work your way in. Where did your house go? Oh. You're doing well. We'll see you back at the clinic next month. Yeah, see, this guy has a burned leaf. He's got this bumpy. Like that's usually indication of being burnt. But he's got a new leaf coming down here, so it'll just be a scarred leaf, and that's okay. That's not needed. Pack you up. Some cinnamon. Okay, it all got quiet in here. Hey Google, skip this song. He's nice and green. He's got some, what is that? You shouldn't be there. You start on me. I don't have time for that. That's probably my fault actually, because I've left these guys in the water too long because I haven't been able to do them as I normally would. So I'm sorry, darling. That was my fault. That is not mold. That is residue from salt. Got to run. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Stay safe. You too, darling. Oh, we got a guy blooming here. This guy needs to be staked up. But I have to make the decision if I allow him to keep this flowers back. Because I don't think he's... Technically, I should cut this off, but I'm not going to. We don't need you, for sure. That piece might come off. Hey Google, skip this song. God. Hey Google, play trance EDM.
Alright, check out this trance EDM station on YouTube Music.
Cool. Okay. You have a remote. This guy's fighting a battle. You're putting me to sleep. Well, I said I wasn't God now. I didn't invite y'all. Sorry that I had to concentrate on my babies for a second. It's not all about you, you know. I can't see that. So. If you're going to keep this, then you need to be good. And you need to stop doing that. There will be no root rot. Okay, but we need to start training his bloom. Because if we don't, he'll just go all hell west and crooked. But as you can imagine, we know how to do that. I need a longer one. Your music, relax. Oh. Jake always makes note of the music I listen to because I especially when I'm editing, like I actually listen to, I say to play coding music, if that means anything to you, but it's this very, just a beat, and it's just enough and it just calms my ADHD. I have to stop this soon. My hand hurts. This guy is blooming. We were allowing him to bloom because we had access to all of his new roots. But still a battle here. Okay, I think you're going to make it. You'll be able to tell. You can tell it's like, oh, they've closed off. You can tell the plant's got a hold of it. Put a bit of mold there. I need to find editors. I need to find people who want to learn because we have so much coming up with Stationdrg. It is just, it's insane. The opportunities that have allotted us. The last year we created our first season of Apocalyptic Kitchen, and you can get that on 5TV1 or Bell 5TV1. Just go to channel 1 and look up. It's in the entertainment section of 5TV1. You can look up Apocalyptic Kitchen, teaching you life skills you never knew you needed. And I'm actually really proud of it. We learned a lot making it. It's like, sure, let's create a TV show. And, but we have no idea what we're doing. And let's just ask it. And sure, have a good, what? You remind me of a mad side. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I remember that. I forget what I was talking about. Anyway, yeah, we're working very hard. Oh, you gotta come off. We've just been picked up for season 2 of APK, and which is amazing. So we're getting that together now to start taping, and we've been asked for extra episodes. So I'm going to take that as they liked it. So we learned so much. Oh my God. So now the next season we're like, yeah, let's bring this on. I shouldn't have done that.